Well, naturally, Doug stopped his show while I stepped out to get a fresh cup of coffee. That's why it's called the Daily Davinci Debacle. What can I say? What can I say? First and foremost, I see there's a couple questions over in the chat from DDT 2005. Thank you, Dennis. I will cover those. That gives me something to talk about. Tony Wallow, good afternoon. One Fish, hello. And Doug is here. I read the clock. It's all good, Doug. I did plan it earlier, but I'm not worried about it. It's good. One way or the other, we'll get people here, and that's fine. No worries whatsoever. Oops. All right, let's get going here. I do have Zoom running. As you can see, I do not have the studio lights running. I just have my light above me, and that's why you're going to see some shadowing and whatnot. Here we go. Let's get into this. Is Greg here yet? Nope. Well, we're going to start without Greg. Yeah, I'm kind of glad Dennis asked the questions. This gives me some things to cover before I go into what I was going to cover anyway. So, Dennis's question is, how do you change frames per second from 60 to 30 in an MP4 project that's already loaded? Short answer is, as far as I know, you don't. Okay? How you change the frames per second is when you open Davinci to do your project, untitled project, come down here to the lower right-hand corner where my picture's at. So let me hide my picture right here. Go to this settings tab, click on that, timeline frame rate, change it from whatever you have, which I believe you said was 60 and you wanted to change it to 30. Go to 30 and that'll set the project frame rate for this particular project. Hit save and it's now 30 frames per second. Now I think, and I'll have to explore this, I'll actually get with Wintermute because he's an expert on this. As far as I think you can go in and set it so that all of your projects could be 30 frames per second, but you probably necessarily don't want to do that. So that's how you change it from 60 to 30 prior to bringing anything in. The second question is how to remove audio background noise from the same file. Well, you go find some media that's got noise. And let's just go bring in a golfing project here. I need to find a movie. And this one will work. It doesn't really matter. I will delete this later anyway. We'll drag it down to the timeline. And close that. And I'll turn on my lovely face again so people can see me. Hi, I'm back. Now, to delete, let me make sure I'm reading the question right. How to remove background noise from the same file. Okay, so if the link button right here is on, highlighted, when you move the top one, the video, you move the bottom one, the audio. The easiest way that I would do it, I would uncheck this, off click in here, then you can move the video out of the way, highlight the audio, make sure the red box is around it, backspace, and it's gone. And now you have the background video, or you have the audio gone from your background video. If you scrub through this, it's gone and there's no audio. And I know that. Another way you could do it is you could, in a sense, do this. If you don't want to go through the hassle of the linking and unlinking, just mute the audio track right here, mute it, and then when you render it, I'm just going to cut this real quick right there. Then when you render it, you're going to render out the video only. Thus, in a sense, getting rid of the audio as well. So that's another way to do it. I would suppose this would be the easiest way to do it. Just mute the track. I'm not going to render it because I don't know how long it will take. I do have some news to report that we'll get with later tonight, and I may have a special guest one of these days on Zoom that I think everyone will be impressed with. I know I will be impressed if I can get this gentleman to join me. And he put a link into the one he had, both shorts, and I didn't download it. I don't know how long that will take. He says he's away from keyboard, and let's go catch up. Wintermute dropped a link. Oh, it dropped chat. Wow, interesting. So let's see what Wintermute dropped. How to change. All right, see, I told you. Create a new timeline, uncheck the project. Okay, so I will look into this one as well. I think that might be more of a permanent change as opposed to the individual project change. I'm not sure. You should be able to go into project settings after the project starts. Now, I have not been able to do that, but let's see. So I should be, Live Windows Training, Doug Betts is saying, I should be able to go into project settings after it started and change the, can I try it? Sure. So let me figure out how to do that, because as you all know, I am not a professional. I do not have 35 plus years experience. I am a enthusiast, hobbyist, whatever you want to call it. So I'll try it this way first. I'll go in here. This is grayed out, so I cannot change it in here. That's locked in, so to speak. So I'm going to cancel that. Then if I come up here to the file, I don't see, I got project settings. I can click on that. Again, that takes me back to the same place, and it's grayed out. So that's not helping. Let me right click on here. New, change duration, change speed, speed it up, slow it down, retime controls. I'm not seeing frame rate changes in here anywhere. And I'm not exactly sure if that can be done or not. That would be the couple different ways I would try to do it. Let's try it a different way. Let's go to the house down here. Oh, let me turn off my camera. If we go down here to the house, that takes you back to your project manager, whatever you want to call it. And I can open up the one I started working with last night, which was this one. Because I started an untitled project, it's going to say save it, cancel. I don't want to save it. It's just an example. Now I'm going to bring up, okay, so this one is for each timeline. It says what I showed you. Go to the settings and do that. Now I got this all restored except for this one picture right here, which is a.jpg, which is actually at the end of the video. I'll go ahead and close that. And I cannot for the life of me find it. I know it's got to be here somewhere because it was part of the project at some point in time. I did spend some time, 12:47 in the afternoon, and the English language has left my brain. From 2 gray cells, I gotta get a third gray cell working. So I'm thinking it's probably my granddaughter, because I have this one and they're kind of opposite one another. So I'm thinking that's what it is. I'm just gonna have to go find it. And or what I could do, there is another means of doing this. I can go in here to my Davinci projects. I can go into completed and go down to where's it at? Probably in screensaver, where most of them are at, and go through these until I find the one that has that specific ending. And no, I don't remember which one it was, because you see by my titling, we have basically the same name over and over and over again. So I will eventually find it. I did go through some flash drives this morning thinking it might be on there, because over in the original one here, it actually shows when you go into here, right click on it, you can go open file location, and it shows that it originally was in my F drive, which kind of tells me it might have been a flash drive and or a memory card, and an a.jpg. I'll sooner or later find it. If I can see what the picture is, I can find it that way. It's not that big of a deal. I'm going to rework this entire project anyway. Another good thing here is if you do have missing media offline, and you know where it's at, you go to change source folder right here. You go in there, and let's just say I knew where it was at. Let's say I knew it was in my data drive, and I knew it was in Davinci, and I knew it was in daily Davinci data, and I knew within data it was in my that's not there, but let's just say it's in pictures, and then it was in the iPhone, and then it was in July 2018. Hit open, hit change, and if that particular picture is in this particular location, this will change, that will change, and it will show up there. It's not going to, because that's not it. That was just an example. So let's continue down here to see if we can do this. Nope. The article that Wintermute posted is for each timeline. I don't know, and again, I'll get with Wintermute tonight. If he's still here, maybe he can research it between now and tonight, and we can figure that out. Another thing, now let me bring up my chat. Greg Guy's here. He's a little late, and Doug says he'll check in Adobe. Thank you, Doug. I'll keep looking into it as well. Greg is here. He's a little late, just having his first cup of coffee. My file was changed to 60 frames when Twitch converted the file from, I don't know why. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on right now that I'm just shaking my head and going, so this is improvement, is it? Worked fine before, now they got to be related to Walmart, Kroger, Home Depot, all these places that once you get used to stuff, they change it. So let me show you and Dennis, I hope that answers your question. If not, shoot me an email and we'll get together and maybe I can walk you through it, or we'll figure it out. So again, come down here to the home button to bring up the project manager. And now I'm going to minimize, well, I don't have to. So I have too many videos. I need to get with someone, and I am getting with someone later this afternoon on a couple things, one of which is going to be organization, because we all know not only am I Groot. By the way, Doug, we'll get together on the Groot language so that you understand when I say I am Groot. You know how to decode it? Because I am Groot means many things. You need to go watch the movies so that you understand that when I say I am Groot, you're supposed to respond with, we'll figure that out. Anyway, back to this. I'm going to go down to close to the bottom, and I got way too many projects. I got to start moving some of these, renaming some of these, or whatever. I'm going to go with the Yana Bell right here. And we'll go with, so there's Yana Bell Original, Yana 02, Yana 2B. I'm going to go with Yana 2B. I think it might be there. We're going to load it in. And as you can see, that's offline. Now, I'm surprised that one actually loaded in, because I wanted to get to a video that I've done way back in the day prior to getting 18.5.1, because if you're not keeping these up to date, it will tell you, do you want to, it's either upgrade or update to the current version, and obviously you do. So as you see, offline, you scroll through here and you're going to get all that. So again, to find it, 3181, go in here, change the source. It used to be in July. Oh, look at that. It used to be, that's not accurate. There's no way that was in July. There's no way this was in July 18th, iPhone, iCloud, photos. There's just no way. It can't be possible. Just cannot be possible. D drive, because I have a horrible memory. July 18th. It's alphabetical. So it should be right in here. J is after I and before K, but it's not there. More than likely, it's elsewhere. I'm not going to take the time right now to go find it. T-5. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. I am going to try to keep this short and sweet and to the point this afternoon. That's interesting. Now, more than likely, this has been converted to the Brian Lightfoot thing that he showed me with Battle Royale. Let's go see where this one may or may not be. Let's open the original location. The original location was on my desktop data OBS. Happy birthday. So that's going to be in an OBS file somewhere. Let's go see where this originally was. I think we've determined it was in July 18th iPhone photos. So no big deal on that. And this one was in my pictures desktop grandbabies, 2733. All right, let's go see if we can locate that one relatively quickly and not go into a lot of overtime. So 2733, let's go into here and click on the picture. This is 2947. That's the first one. This will be 2948. So they go up in numeric 2997. So it's not in there. Now I struggle going backwards with this, and I don't know. Baby R. So there's the 3 baby R's. If I click on one of those, you can see it's 3831. This will be 3832, and this will be 3830. I don't know why it goes 30, 32, 31. It just does. So I know picture A is not in my folder I created for this specific granddaughter. Not a big deal. Oops, didn't want to do that. I have a lot of oops moments right now. So I want to go here. Excuse me. Since I don't know exactly what that is, I could sit here. These are my little rabbit holes. I could open this. I only have 2. Click on that. That's 3143. So I'll eventually find all this. I was really hoping that when I did this, this would open up, and this should be, yeah, the same thing. Now this particular one is a picture of my granddaughter Yonner. She's got her hand held out, and I put the YANA on her fingers, and I tracked it, and it really looks pretty cool. It really does. But I've got way too much. I've got to get caught up. Let me bring, I just leave it like this because you guys are seeing this, I think. So hopefully that helps, Dennis. You can see I've got some work cut out for me. I am going to be getting with someone here in about an hour or so, and we're going to go through some things. I'm possibly going to rename some things. The reason that I wanted to do that was, I'm going to go back to here. Let me go, oops. I really wish this had the square where you could make it full size, but it doesn't, because I play Havoc sometimes grabbing that. So, and you can see it always puts your last project first. So I'm going to go back to this one. I'm going to go look at chat. How about create a new project with the desired frame rate, then import the video that has, okay, good point. What that'll do is it'll prompt you to change the frame rate. That's a very good point. So we'll go down here and we'll close this out by right click close, because that brings up the untitled project. We're going to bring it, we're going to double click it. We're going to come down here and change the frame rate. We're going to change it to 30 frames per second. We're going to save it. We're going to go grab some media, and it'll probably be my luck. I'll grab something that's in 30 frames per second, and then I will be very unhappy. So let's go with August 1st, 2023. It's from the phone. It's me on the driving range. Hopefully it will do what I want it to do. So we click on it. We click open. And like I said, it did not do what I wanted it to do, because it will pop up here and say, do you want to change the frame rate? Exactly. When I want to demonstrate something, I can't demonstrate it because, of course not. That's just Ken Stout or Ken the Stout or the Ken Stout. Look, that's just how it goes. When I want to show you guys something, it does what it's not supposed to do. When I don't want to show you guys something, it does what it's supposed to do. How ironic is that? So, I just don't know where to go to get this. Let's go see what this one is. There we go. No, I don't want to save it. That's not what I want. And this looks like this isn't going to work. Oh yeah, this is when I was messing around with fonts. So apparently I've done that since upgrading to 18.5.1. I kind of am happy with this one. There's a little bit involved with that. You can change each individual letter to the different colors, as you can see here. And if we get rid of that and get rid of that, pick on Greg a little bit. Greg says, hurry up. Time check is nap. Yeah, I hear that. How about a new project? I'll cover that tomorrow. I'm going to schedule tomorrow's show today, Doug. Now, I'm just giving Doug a hard time. It's good. I know we get it out there and advertised enough. It's all good. When you mean it's a file of 60 frames, it will import the file to me. Put in it right. It should. It does prompt you for. Let me see if I can demonstrate that. This is kind of bugging me. Let me close this. Brings up that. And then if we go grab some media, let me grab, I don't know, maybe I should not be trying to grab a doggone thing. Let's try, that's an image. Oh, it says MP4. Let's see what that does. There we go. Yay! Hey. Well, thanks everybody for joining me. I've accomplished what I've wanted to accomplish today. Be sure to join live Windows training, Doug Betts, tomorrow. So, I didn't change the frame rate by setting, so it says change the frame rate. The selected clips have a different frame ratio. Would you like to change it? You can't undo this action, so I'm going to go ahead and hit change. And then I'm going to immediately open another one. I don't want to save it. Here's going to really test my memory. And I'm going to open another one again by closing this one. And I promise I'm going to wrap this up. We're going to do a new one. We're going to change the frame rate. And we're going to go to 30 frames per second. Go into the media pool. And I'm hoping, not that one. Where's it at? Well, be nice if I had half a second memory, because that way I could go in there and show you what I wanted. That's not, I know that that's not it because that title doesn't look familiar. Plus I thought it was a, let's grab this one and open it. Apparently my phone is now shooting it in 50, or it was shot at this time in 30 frames per second, but I'm pretty sure I changed that. So yeah. If you don't change it and the format's the same, it doesn't prompt you. If you do change it and the format's different, it will prompt you. If you don't change it and the format's different, it will prompt you. I know that's some rambling, but hopefully that answers that question. If you don't click, it would, yeah, if you don't click it, okay, so I wished I could remember which one that was so I could go back and determine what it is. Now, I don't know if you can right click on here and analyze this or not. It's not that important to me. I've never actually thought about it. Generate optimized media has my attention. Change the source, reveal in media storage. That just tells me where it's at, which is in Davinci Resolve product data, golf project, and it drops it down there and tells you where it's at. Pretty cool. Pretty interesting. And then I guess when you click that, it takes you back to there. Again, I'm still learning DaVinci quite a bit. Every day I learn something, either through Wintermute's help or other people's help, or I just go, hey, let's click on this and see what this does. So I want to thank everyone. Changes the font timeline rate. Don't change the clip frame rate. Makes sense. Nobody joined me on Zoom today. Zoom has been running, as I can once again bring up Zoom right here, bring my lovely face up. I even changed the background to Davinci Resolve today. And if I click on that, I'm not going to save it. I used to save everything. I really did. And that's why I have all the stuff that I have. I do have work to do tonight while Mrs. K is at work to get some of my things caught up, cleaned up, and back to functioning so I can hopefully improve on them. Thank you. I'll see you tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 8 o'clock in the middle of the country, south of the Mississippi where certain people live, and 2 hours out there, 3 hours on the West Coast. Thank you. Have a great day. See you tonight. One of these buttons turns this stream off. Let me call Doug. I'm going to phone a friend.